Hey, what's up, everybody? Big Irish Jay here for another episode of Ask a Black Guy. As always, Kev on stage, Kevin Fredericks.
I'm black.
He's a guy. All right, we're going to get right into it. Okay, Kev, first question. Have you ever been in a situation and thought, man, this would be so much easier if I was insert particular ethnicity? Like, oh, this would be so much easier if I was, you know, white, black, or well, you're already black, so.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to tell you when it's good to be black first.
Okay.
When you want to cut somebody in line at the movies, amusement parks, if you go mean blackface and you cut them, they're not going to say anything. Like, now you're good. That's your best thing. But when I want to be any other race. Okay, now in college, it wasn't necessarily to fit in or anything like that, but when I was in college, I went to University of Washington, Seattle, which is a predominantly white institution.
Asian? Oh.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that too. And it was like, man, I'd go like full quarters, and it's like every class I'm the only black dude.
Really?
I've been talking about like 750 people in Psychology 101, and I went from a military school, which was like everybody from all over the world, to like 700 white people and me. And it just gets old. You're just like, geez. So it's not like you want it to be white, but I want more black people. Job interviews, absolutely. You just, you know, you feel like, hey, I mean, I got most of the jobs I went for, but I feel like you're more comfortable. They'd probably be like, hey, he's a white guy. I mean, but I have a white name, Kevin Allen. Like, that's why I get in. Kevin Allen Fredericks from the University of Washington, like, he has to be white. If it was
Kareem Fredericks. Next.
My name was Lil Jamal. Like, that's my entire resume.
Lil's the first name, Jamal middle name.
No. My middle name is apostrophe. So it means Lil Jamal. That's my whole name. You know, so I thank God my mom gave me a neutral name. But no, I wouldn't say that I've ever thought I would be in any other race. Ever.
So I mean, I get what they're saying. Like, but you've never been like, I mean, I don't know if it'd be thinking like, oh, it'd be easier, but you've never been like, oh, I bet if I was white, this would go a different way, or if I was.
Well, oh my God, when I'm getting followed around the car, you know, the store or police, like police always get behind me for a while, always, and they go. You know what I mean? It's never like okay, perfect example. We used to do plays in Washington.
Yeah.
We had a building the investor owned, right? Industrial Park in Tacoma. So we're outside at 11:30 after rehearsal, just standing around, you know, talking, whatever, rehearsal's over, and police pull us over, big flashing light, hey, what are you guys doing out there? Like, if you're black, what are you doing right now?
You should have just started going, do
When you're black, to the police, you have to prove why you should be where you are. Because if you don't, it's automatically suspicious.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And here's the other thing. Like this whole George Zimmerman thing and the Michael Dunn trial, you have to not only be afraid of police, you have to be afraid of white people. Like a black face is a black man's face is fear-inducing. And I'm 6 foot. I'm here. I'm 6 foot.
Yeah, you're a little guy.
Yeah, so.
I remember I was dating this girl. Her name was Walida. Anyways. But I remember this is when I lived in Portland, and I lived in Northeast Portland, which is like, it was the black area, so to speak, but I remember it was late at night and I was driving her home, and we drove by a cop, and the cop pulled us over, and I know he pulled us over like, white guy with a black girl, 2 in the morning, and then I pulled out my uncle's a cop card, because Walida had to tell me to shut up, because I was like, oh, so why'd you pull us over? And he goes,
I'll never,
ever
say that to a cop.
She knew,
like, Jay, you're gonna get us both beat up.
Dude, I was like, and I gave him my card, my license. He was like, oh, Hollingsworth, are you related to Steve? I go, yeah, that's my uncle. I go, so why'd you pull it? Oh, dude, I was so, because I knew why.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Get a little angry.
It's all right, Jay. Relax. Man.
Yeah,
okay,
I know.
Okay.
No one disrespects my queen. All right, did you feel growing up, this is kind of, I think I probably know the answer to this sort of, you met your wife when you were in high school, right? Okay, well the question is, did you feel obligated growing up to marry a black woman? But you met your wife so young.
I did marry a black woman. I didn't feel obligated to. The first girl I kissed, French kiss, white. Sarah Sickinger. White as white could be. I never really dated seriously any white girls, but I messed around with a few before the Lord delivered my heart. Hallelujah. No, I didn't really feel obligated at all. I found black women more attractive than anybody else, so I don't think I could have ever, seriously. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out, but I was just like, oh, black women, chocolatey. Because not only I find them like visually and sexually attractive, I feel like we can connect, and, and that's the thing, and you feel like you can connect with black women too. So it's not that. I always say this: you're more likely to marry people who are in your neighborhood, who you go to school with, who you feel like you can connect. If you go to a school with all different races, you're more likely to feel like that.
I do. When people will be like, when people have asked me, why do you think you dated women of color your whole life? And I go, well, I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, or all ethnicities, I always say if I grew up in like an all-white neighborhood, I'd probably date white girls, etc.
You always do this.
All right, okay, because I know this is a question on Ask a White Guy. So if you had, out of these 5 white women, if you had to pick one to be with, and I think the question was geared towards like marry, be with, not. And
these are celebrities, so it's okay.
Right.
Wives don't get mad at celebrity.
And it's old school. There's nobody.
Okay, old school. Okay, perfect.
So the 5 are Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, Linda Carter, Elizabeth Taylor, and Raquel Welch.
Okay, so I did research on Raquel Welch after you mentioned her. She's got to be at the top of the list. And black is in her family.
Oh, dude.
She was a little thick. She was skinny thick. She's a perfect example of skinny thick. She's like thin with curves. She was amazing. Marilyn Monroe. That's like America's decided she's the most beautiful white woman. But the thing I like about her most is that she slept with the president and was like, and what? Why are you owning that? You know what I mean? Like, she's like the white Rihanna. You know what I mean? She's just like a rebel. But yeah, Raquel Welch. The other women, like Wonder Woman, everybody.
Linda Carter.
They're pretty, but Raquel Welch was like, hey, what's up, white girl? Hey, shorty.
All right. Okay, what we got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. The question was presented. I'm just going to read this how it was presented. So if it sounds weird how I'm saying this, it says, there's a white person asked this. When I receive black hate, how do I rebuttal against it while showing zero guilt for crimes against black people? A black racist pressing hate for the past.
Oh man. Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, where are you? We're like, this is black hate.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. You remember the movie The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Joker says, the guy, Batman's like, Alfred's like, you can't stop this dude. Like, he doesn't have logic. He's just, he's just doing stuff, and Joker's like, plan? I don't have a plan. Right. I'm a dog chasing my tail.
Right.
So people like that, you're never going to logically get to them. They just want to start stuff. It's like people argue with you on Twitter. You're never going to come to a point where they're going to be like, you know what, you're right. They're going to argue to the day they die. It's like my friend's an atheist. That's why I never argue with him about that. Because nothing I say is going to change his mind about atheism, about God. And nothing he says to me is going to make me be like, yeah, I think I'm going to be an atheist. You know what I mean? And generally people who have really starch, viewpoints only want to argue. They don't want to talk to a point of resolution. They just want to, there's no point.
Oh, dude, I'm shaking my head because I just went through this with, there's a black guy I know that he literally just likes to argue and cause drama.
Yeah.
So I told him, I'm like, you're human spam.
Is he a comedian?
Yeah.
Okay. Literally, human spam is a great way. They're just trolls.
It's human spam. Yeah, exactly.
I don't engage with trolls on YouTube. I don't
exactly. So I removed it from. I'm like, this is pointless. Okay, last one. Okay, obviously this isn't me asking this. I know I'm black, but ask Kev what movies are required to watch to prevent your black card from being revoked.
Gosh, that's gonna differ from person to person, but I'll try to give you some universal truths. Color Purple, just because it gets quoted so much in black people's, if you haven't seen it, when people do this, you don't even know what that means. Like I do this, everybody knows, till you do right by me, and they know. That's automatic. So you want to know whether you're missing jokes. Right. Where's Seeley? Fixing the shade, mister. How'd he die? On top of me. Like, all those quotes, when people do this, you're not going to get none of Tyler Perry's plays jokes. That joke's in there like 1,000 times. You told Harpo to beat me? Like, I can go through the whole movie with the movie. Coming to America, very similar. There's so many jokes from that movie that are integral to black culture. The third one would be Boys in the Hood, The Wood, New Jack City, Menace to Society. You got it. I'm just going to... You might as well watch.
I'm not asking this to be a smart mouth. Roots. I mean, it may be a different generation.
Not really. Different generation maybe, but everybody's seen Roots. But, if you've seen... slave movies, there's not really a different, and people aren't usually making jokes about Roots. However, Toby, that joke comes from the movie Roots, so I would see Roots. But yeah, pretty much Love Jones. It's kind of like, if you miss any of the oh my gosh, 5 Heartbeats, Temptation, Jackson 5, American Dream, Mother!
What was the Oz one with Michael Jackson? The Wiz?
The Wiz, yeah. Okay, if I had to say 3, you might want to go with Jackson 5 American Dream. Okay. Because it's like 5 hours long. While you're on a Saturday, it just comes on VH1. You're just like, what?
It's like a church service.
There goes my day. You a liar and you a cheat. No, I want you. I don't want you. Like, it's in there, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's been this week's Ask a Black Guy. Again, it's Kevin Fredericks at KevOnStage. If you want to see the Ask a White Guy video, that's going to be down here. And let me just leave you with this. What's up, everybody? It's Big Irish Jay. Come subscribe to my YouTube page. Oh, let me say one other thing. Let me say one other thing. My last joke for Joke a Week, which was a year-long project I just put up this week. Please go check it out. If you like the Say Man, it's a joke about where that whole voice came from. I finally figured it out. So go to, you can watch the video. It says week 52 of Joke a Week.
Just put it in the description, Jay.
I'll put it in the description.
There you go. Down here.
Jeez. All right. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
Oh, gosh.